Okay, well, welcome to the exclusive. I'm your host, Sharon Tharp. I don't think it's a surprise. I think most people know that Big Brother 6 is one of my favorite seasons. And I got to chat with this woman 2 years ago, I think. She graciously came on with the original players who played in the pressure cooker competition. And it was a lot of fun. And I'm excited to have her back. We're going to dive a little deeper. So, welcome to the podcast, April Lewis. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. Thank you so much. I love to hear that one of your favorite seasons is Big Brother 6.
Of
Who would have
course,
knew?
iconic.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna be joined by a special guest a little later, so stick around
Yes.
for that, and we'll explain what's going on. But you know, catch us up, April. Like, what's the general life update for people that maybe don't follow you on social media or aren't super involved with like the community? Like, what's April been up to these days?
Well, most people don't probably follow me on social media because when I was on Big Brother 6, like there was no social media besides MySpace.
Yep,
Um, which is a good thing too. It's
I
like good
agree.
and bad, right? It's like my son is always like, Mom, I want to go on Big Brother. And I'm like, do you really? I'm like, the world now, with all the social media forums and stuff can be a little crazy. But
Yep.
anyway, so yes, I was on Big Brother 6. Super blessed to be on it. In the moment, you're like, what did I do? Why did I do this? Because it's crazy. But fast forward so many years now, it's 20, what is it?
20,
2020. Yeah, it's year 20.
20 this
Um,
year.
yes. I am still married to the same wonderful man, Matt. And we have a 17-year-old son who is actually starting his senior year of high school Tuesday, um,
Okay.
and hopes to go on to Texas A&M and engineering, which is really cool. He's smart. He's got his dad's brains, but his mom's little personality. But anyway, so yeah, so he's a senior, and I'm still in pharmaceutical sales. So honestly, there has not been a lot change for me at all, which is also a blessing. So
Yeah.
still living in Dallas, Texas, doing my thing.
Nice. Do you ever go to those like events or anything? Have you been in the Big Brother community or not really? Kind of keep your distance.
So, no, you know what? I honestly like coming out of Big Brother. I remember one of the first things they asked me, and I know they probably obviously asked other people, was, would you go back?
Yeah.
And coming out of that, I was like, no, because it was very intense. I was not the one who had signed up for it. It was my partner that I went in with, Jen. And it was but I also had some reality TV like loving. So I liked reality TV, but so when I got out, I was like, oh my gosh, no, I just need a break. But you really do. I mean, there are so many people that want to go on these shows, and
Yeah.
it really is such a cool, fun experience that is honestly like a chance of a lifetime. So once I got out of it and kind of stepped away and kind of got back into my real life, I really did take a step back and really appreciate the opportunity that I had, the game that I played, and so yes, I still keep up with people. I would say years after the show, I did show up to to different charity events and things like that. This past summer, I know that Janelle hosted the BB cruise, and they really, really, really wanted me to go on it, and they really want me to go next year. It's just been really hard years because my son is, going into a senior year. We're
Yep.
also now caregivers to, I think we talked about the other day, my mother-in-law, and I have a job, and my husband has a job, and
You have
so,
a life, April.
I have a life. I do, and that doesn't mean the others don't.
Yeah,
I
but I
think it
get
would
it.
be great. Like my son was like, "Mom, please, let's go on the cruise and take me." And so this year I wasn't able to go on, but I do talk to a lot of the cast for my season. I love them. I mean, they're like brothers and sisters to me when you live that long together. But I don't do a lot, but I am willing definitely to do some things when it fits into my life.
No, I love that. I think that's the perfect kind of relationship. Like, also, when your season aired, yes, there was no social media, but it was honestly, it was a bigger show, even too. Like, I don't know. It's
Mhm.
just like there are pros and cons to everything. Like, your season was super intense. So, like, kind of happy, like, maybe social media is better that it wasn't around
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah. And I mean,
Um,
I look back at like season 6, and I think, I mean, of course, I made it to the final four. I don't have any regrets in the way that I made it that far and the way I
of
played
course.
necessarily. But what I wish that game would have allowed was just us to, it was so divided.
Yep.
And because it was so divided, there was no middle ground for some people. Like, I'm someone who I would have been willing to play with some people from the other side, but I also wanted to play with some people from my side. But you couldn't betray your side because then you would be on the other side and at the bottom of the totem pole, you know?
Yep.
So it was just very, like you said, very intense
Yep.
and very extreme. And it was like, you're either winning or you're losing. And if you're losing, you're on the block. And if you're winning, you're good for the week. So it was
Yep.
very dynamic for sure. And I wish they'd bring something like that back because it really does, you know, there's so many different additions that they've added now that kind of can mess with who ends up on the block or who's coming off the block. So I think going back and like bringing couples in again, it just, it adds a similar situation just in
Mm.
a different way and keeps it, to me, I mean, now it gets so complicated. It's like it too many layers to it to where I think it's just going back to old school days. I think it's just, it's fun and it's exciting to watch.
Yes, and I want to talk about that because I've always said, like, I love a good casting twist. All the twists they put in the game, like the game mechanics, that to me I don't love because you're kind of messing with
Yeah.
the actual game. But I love a good casting twist, and yours was obviously an iconic one. How did you get, like, I know you said Jen,
Mhm.
Jennifer was, did she apply? Like, talk to me about that.
Yeah, so Jen and I actually, there was another reality TV show that was casting here in Dallas that her and I met at. And we kind of linked up, and her and I had, you know, each other's phone numbers and stuff just from kind of sitting and waiting through the whole casting process. But that was about it.
Mm,
She did go to Baylor, where my husband went to school. She was a Zeta at Baylor, which I was
I
in a
remember, yeah.
different sorority at a whole different school, different ages, like all of that. And I just happened to randomly get a call from her, and she was like, "Hey, you know, Big Brother is casting. They're looking for me a partner. I know you like reality TV. What are your thoughts about going on?" And I'm like, "Why are you calling me?" Kind of, because her and I, we knew each other. We weren't like really good friends.
Yep.
Um, and she had said that they had interviewed a few people that she thought she would want to go on with, and they weren't like really keen on, I guess, probably, you know, again, this is all like a puzzle that they put together.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't
Yep.
mean that someone that she wasn't going in with wouldn't have been great, but it's like plugging in these different pieces. And so they didn't really want any of the ones that she had kind of walked forward with and gave them. And so she's like, "Look, I really want to go on this show. Would you be interested in going on?" And I said, "I have, in full transparency, I've never seen Big Brother." I said, "But I love reality TV. And, you know, as long as I don't have to leave my job, like, of course, I'll put my name in the hat and we'll see what happens." And so from that point on, I submitted to them my pictures, did an interview, and then it just kind of happened from there. And next thing you know, which I thought it was super cute and funny, when they ended up picking us, they told us, "You guys are the secret
Yep.
partners." And I'm
Yep.
like, my husband loves me. I love my husband, but he's like, "Honey, you are not that special." Like, you're just not, I mean, you're special to me, but you're not that special. So anyway, that day
He's
we
a
got off
real
the,
one.
oh, he is, he is. I mean, and it's so funny because if I always like worry about something, he goes, "April, like the odds are not going to happen. Like that 1% of things is not you." And I'm like, "Okay, great." So when they said that we are the secret partner and that we are the only ones, I then knew we were not the only ones. And
I was gonna
so,
ask that.
no, I mean, we were told that,
Yep.
but I knew there was no way that we were the only ones. So the minute we walked in that house, I mean, Jen and I'm looking, and the first couple I spotted out was Janelle and Ashleigh. Like, I immediately knew. I'm like, these two girls, they're beautiful. They're bombshells. They're from the same area. Like,
Uh,
there's no way that they don't know each other, you know? And then who was the next couple I ended up picking out? I mean, we all started picking things out, right?
yeah,
For someone to say, "I picked out first, you picked out second," it doesn't matter. We were all in our minds, like playing out who was with who. I can honestly say the last couple we ended up putting together were Rachel and Howie. Because I mean,
It
let's
was
be
kind of
real,
weird.
it was weird.
It
I
was
love
weird.
both of them. Like
Yeah.
Rachel's like a sister, Howie's like a brother, but the two of them together, weird.
Yeah.
Um, so they were the last couple that we had put together. And it was funny because Yvette, as close as she was to me in the beginning, and just opening up kind of what she, her sexuality and things like
Hmm.
that, she literally lied till like the end. And I'm like, come on, like everyone else is a couple. Like just
Oh, about
be
Bo?
on. Yes. I'm like, oh my gosh. So and he was gay and she was gay. And I'm like, come on, like you guys know each other. Like it's okay. And they were both from Miami. So it
Miami.
was
Yeah.
kind of, yeah, it was really fun, watching people, because Jen and I were one of the ones that held off till the end as well on telling people. I was like, come on, like people know. And it was like, no, 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 don't say anything. But yeah, it was a really fun game. I mean, I really do wish that they would go back and kind of take some of the dynamics they have now and just keep it more simple,
Hmm.
but yet have the characters just be in you know what I'm saying, just
Yeah.
in just a different light. I don't know. I think there's too many layers now, and even the people who win, I mean, did they really win? Because they had
Mm.
to. I don't know. It's complicated now, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
It's definitely evolved.
Yeah.
One of the big things obviously was the friendship and Sovereign Six, and I remember watching back then, and if I recall, the friendship wasn't as popular in
Hmm.
real time when you're there. Are you thinking about that at all? I know Janelle got a phone call at one point, right? Like, were you thinking, okay, what's the perception? Do people like this group, or were you not even worried about that shit?
You know,
Excuse my language.
of course, no, that's okay. Like, I mean, I do like to be liked, right? I mean, I
Me
am that
too.
personality type, right? And all through my like life, I mean, I was in the popular group, if you want to say. And so it was when I got out, and they're like, "You're the nerd herd." I'm like, I have never been called a nerd. Like, that's honestly kind of honorary to me because I mean, I'm smart, but I ain't that smart. And so I was always on the opposite side of like the popular people. But the reality is the reason we were the nerd herd, I mean, the reality is we dominated that game.
Hmm.
We really did. I mean, Janelle won one. James, I love him. He called himself the Sovereign Six. That homeboy had his own alliance. He was in the
Yo,
middle and he should
yeah,
have
he
had his own
was.
name. Like literally, he should have had his own name. So he wants to like go to the Sovereign Six, but he would have literally flipped on anyone if it would have benefited him because he told us what he told them. And anyway, so I really think how that whole, for instance, I'm watching the game now, you know, America wants the underdog to win.
Hmm.
And as much as we were called the nerd herd, we were not the underdogs. We had control
Fair.
most of the game. Um, was it weird that there was like a shrine for Cappy? Yes, that was weird. I'm like, I mean, was I thinking in my mind, this is strange? Like, do I love all of these people? Sure. Do I think it's weird that we're like shrining this guy
Who's still
that,
alive?
yeah, like it's in again, I have a very direct, strong personality, but I think when I'm in a group of someone like with a vet in it who has a
Yeah.
much stronger personality, I then kind of like step back a little bit and kind of I'm still strong and I'm direct, but I kind of just like go with the flow. And that
Yeah.
is
Let
something
them.
I learned. Yeah, that is something I learned is I can still stand up and not kind of go with the flow if it's not something that I agree with. And some of the things that happened. But we really were the dominators of the game. I mean, we won a lot.
Well,
We
I was
won a
going to
lot.
ask you, like, I do feel like over the years, people have sort of recognized your game, recognized Maggie's game, and been like, wait, yeah, we were rooting for maybe Case or Janelle, the underdogs, but like, I do feel like there's been more respect for your alliance, I guess, over the years. Have you felt that at all? Because at least on social media, I felt like people have come
Yeah.
around to Maggie's a great winner, and the
Yeah.
friendship, like, was it, all of that. You guys got far.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do. I mean, I think people are always going to have favorites, and that's 100% okay. Um, yes, I mean, I get messaged a lot still,
I'm sure.
when especially around the season,
Yeah.
they start, watching things, and it was on Netflix a few years ago. I remember sitting on my couch and I started like getting blown up on our little thread, and it's like, oh my gosh, watch Netflix. And I'm like, oh my gosh, did it really come back? I was like, oh my, this is crazy. And so what's so funny is I mean, I know me being skinny and I didn't win a lot, like all those things. I rewatched the season and I, number one, the whole time knew I did not need to win a lot. I knew I
Mm,
didn't because people thought I was weak and talked too much. And yes, I'm a talker, whatever. But I got along with a lot of people. There were some I didn't, but I got along enough that if I would have made it, to the final three, Janelle was going to take me. She was not going to take Maggie, I
mm.
believe. I think her and I've talked about that before. I mean, and I believe that I played a really good social game. Even though, the dynamics happened the way that with Howie and stuff like that, we still made up. I'm a forgiving person. I give grace. And I hope they do the same to me. And I feel like they did. But the
Yep.
reality is I did not need to win. But when I
Mm.
watched back season 6, I got close to winning many competitions, many, many, many competitions. I just didn't win either because I knew I didn't need to win that or I just didn't win. But so I feel like I was a strong competitor on the nerd herd or the friendship side. But at the end of the day, a lot of the times, I mean, I didn't get nominated and put on the block till the very end.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, so and I knew that, like that was my gameplay. One of the things I wish people would really start appreciating is two different games. Someone who has to fight their way to the end, right? Like a Keanu, he is fighting his way to the end. They want him out
I
every
just tweeted
single
about
week,
this. Yep.
right? It's like it's not cool. That's a hard game to play. But they also need to appreciate the people who can be a little bit behind the curtains and not have to win every single game to have to stay in the game. So I would love it if people would just respect both of those versus just the hard competitor, because you can be a mental competitor and that is part of the game.
I agree. And we're gonna bring in a special guest in a minute. I think I
Okay.
have like two more questions for you.
Okay.
When some people went back for BB7, were you rooting for them or against them at that point back then?
So, so when I went back, and I don't know if you remember or not, I did one of the
For a
competitions.
competition, yep.
Yeah, for Will,
POV.
which of course I'm like, you put me up against Will. Come on, people. So that was one of when I got evicted. They said, "Would you be willing to do an All Stars?" And I said no. And I know other people said no. Some people said yes. Not saying if I would have said yes, I would have gone on. I do think they should have, and it would have been nice if they would have brought back a vet because I
Mm,
know she was up to go on because it would have just diversified, the different alliances that would have been on there. Um, Part of me, and this is being fully transparent, part of me, because it was only a year later,
yeah, it was close.
was yeah, it was close. Part of me was like, I really want Big Brother 6 to be represented, and I want people to go for far, but I don't know that I wanted anyone to win. That's just me being honest because I came off so it was so close to coming off season 6 that everyone comes off a little butthurt,
Of
kind of like
course.
meh,
It's
like
still fresh.
it is very fresh. And again, I love all of them, but I think it's just yes, I was reading for season 6 people, but I don't know that I wanted cared for any of them to win, you
Mm.
know. But even going and competing against Will in that competition, which I mean, if I didn't let him, I was going to let him win anyway. Of course, he ate so much more sushi than me, but I also wanted to represent my BB6 people and let them know that I still loved them, I still cared for them, and that I was rooting for them, whether they won or not.
Okay. Well, I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Before we bring in our special guest, I did have one other question. You voted for Maggie to win, which I don't think is a shock, but do you think was that decided before like you guys went into the finale? Was it very clear? Because it was a close vote, but like, how did you, I guess, think it was going to go? Did you think Maggie was definitely going to win?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I mean, just coming from the jury house, not that we're sharing a bunch with each other. I mean, it was closer than I thought.
Mm,
I'm not gonna lie, but the entire game, and some people might disagree, Maggie was solid. She was very, very level-headed. She was never mean to anyone, and she did not react to people's reactions. And Yvette did. And
okay, that's fair. Yeah.
yeah, and so for me, it wasn't even just a gameplay thing because I felt Maggie played a very solid game, very stealth in her gameplay, but she was also just a good person. Not that Yvette wasn't, but Maggie was a good person. And the friendship that her and I developed in there goes beyond the game. I mean,
Right.
I love her to this day. Her and I talk to this day. And so she's just a good person. And I think that's for something on top of just playing a very great game. I mean, her partner went out very early on and she was still able to make it to the very end. And honestly, if Yvette wouldn't have had that connection with Cappy, I don't know that Maggie would have made it to the end. And then I got very vocal towards the end because it is hard for me to sit and watch someone be mean or be just very controlling, which Yvette became very, very much towards the end. And that's kind of when I started kind of backing up against things and just not being okay with the way she
Mm,
was playing. And honestly, I mean, kudos to Yvette. She hadn't won crap all season. So I was literally going to let Janelle, so I didn't have to make that choice, let Janelle win the HOH, which she
mm.
did, then let Janelle win that power of veto because she's a badass at competitions, and let her bring me to the end and see what I got. Like if I would have gotten 50, I would have been thankful. If I would have won, I would have been thankful. But kudos to Yvette for finally stepping up
Yeah.
after we carried her that whole game and actually winning something. So
I love it. And Maggie's doing well because people are always wondering about Maggie.
yes, she is so wonderful. She does not want, I mean, her whole thing is her family,
Of course.
and
Of
that's it,
course.
right? And so her kids are wonderful. She's wonderful. Her husband's wonderful, and they're doing great. So yeah,
I love that.
yep,
Well,
they are.
it kind of leads into what we're gonna bring someone in now is
Okay.
because when we did this pressure cooker reunion 2 years ago, you were one of the people that helped kind of connect the dots. You talked to a lot of people on your cast. You're sort of the glue to a lot of different people. And, when I asked you to do this interview, you were like, you had this connection to Keanu. So I want to bring in Keanu's girlfriend, but you guys talk to me
Okay.
about this connection and how you guys know each other. Welcome, Britnee.
Okay. Brittany,
Thank you so
look
much
how
for
beautiful she is. She is gorgeous.
stunning.
She is. I told you she was.
Thank you so much
Okay.
for coming on.
Yes, yes, I'm excited to be here.
It's
Aw.
great to meet you. But yeah, talk to me, I guess, the two of you, how you know each other. Like, you live in Dallas as well. What's the connection?
Yeah, kind of a like God sent story,
Yes.
really.
Yes.
My good friend who was a trainer at the same gym I'm at, she was actually training a lady named Corey, and my friend ended up leaving personal training and going just to work at a school. So I inherited Corey from my friend Erin, and so me and Corey were training, and then I was telling her how I my boyfriend was going to be on Big Brother. All these things. And she was like, I actually have this really good friend who was on Big Brother at season 6.
Wild.
And I was like, no way. And I was kind of like, I wasn't doing well with him going on Big Brother. I was kind of struggling with the whole thing. It's just, I didn't really, I guess, sign up to like date a reality star in my brain.
For
So
sure.
yeah, it was kind of like I live like a low key kind of life. I do my thing. But she was like, let's April will come work out, and if you want to ask her questions, whatever. So then April came and worked out, and we just like had a blast. And she was really sweet and really just was like, Brittany, it's gonna be okay. I was like, all right, girl,
Yeah.
we're leading
Yeah.
into that. So yeah, so it was
Yeah.
actually just kind of a really God sent alignment on that
Yes.
front for sure.
I love that.
Absolutely. I know. It was crazy. It was funny because when we worked out, I was like, okay, I'm going to show up. Like Corey is my best friend. And so it was totally a God thing. And So I was working out and I'm like, I'm not going to say anything to her. If she wants to say something to me, then we can like chit chat, but I don't want to stress her out or whatever. And then probably halfway through it, she's like, okay, so I know you're on Big
What do I need to
Brother.
know?
And she goes, Keanu is on Big Brother. And what do like, and I was like, girl, you are going to be great. It's going to be fine. I promise. Like, and one of the things I told her, like, you know, because again, I was on the show and I left my husband. So it, you know, when you get in that house, I mean, I was married and as strong as they have in a relationship as well, it's like you know, in the house, you start thinking, oh my God, is my husband going to leave me? Did he leave me? You know, like you just think the
can mess with you,
craziest,
for
it
sure.
messes with you because in the house, you're cut off from everything.
Yeah, you can't
Like
see anything.
you can't
Yeah.
see anything. You can't hear anything. So like
I
Britney,
think I would have
you know,
rather had it that way. Seeing stuff is almost worse.
really like, and Brittany's living her own life, right?
Yeah, that is
Right.
true.
And
That is
but
true.
you also think like she's sitting there just not being able to like connect with him. And but I remember thinking my husband was going to leave me and I was a newlywed. And so one of the things I told her, he is going to love you just as much as he loved you when he went in, but he is going to appreciate you so much more whenever he gets out.
Yeah,
And
that was
I that is how I feel. That's
Yeah.
how I felt when I got out. And
yeah.
yeah, for sure.
I did
Good
get the
advice.
first shout out the first week, so that
When?
made me feel good, me and my
Yeah.
kids. So I love his mom. Me and his mom talk every day at this point now because we're keeping each other sane, you know. I was like, this is, you know, it's so sad because I was like, this is the longest me and him have been apart pretty much since we've been together. And his mom's like, this is the most I've seen him since college. I was like, that's right. This is like really great for you. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, so me and her talk, you know, like every day about the show and she's keeping me like updated. But it was funny because, you know, one of my clients was like, Britnee, if you got the first shout out and you beat his mom, that means you're number one. I was like,
Yes.
okay, that's right.
Yes.
She was even
Yes.
excited for me. She was like, you've got to watch the end of the episode, Britnee, just the end. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but then I coached cheerleading. So all my cheerleaders were sending me the clips, you know, of like, oh my God, Coach Britney, you got, yeah.
You're cool. You're super.
Yeah, I was
You were
cool.
cool before,
Yeah.
but you're cooler now just because of you, not even him.
Yes. And some of my cheerleaders, like huge, you know, one of the girls on my team, huge Big Brother fans. And she's, you know, always telling me, but then her little sister is even a bigger, like Keanu fan. So I literally went to the middle school to do choreography and her little sister ran up to me. She's like, I've been watching Keanu. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm going to have to like bring him to the school one day. He's gonna be
that would be
Yes.
a hit.
famous.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
So-
will. It will.
So anyway, but yeah, they're like, I've got a good definitely support system, but it is weird. Like it's weird to like see him on TV and also how they like they portray him. You know, it's all
Yeah.
like it's very it's kind of weird. And I'm somebody who if I like have an issue, I need to like talk about it like that day. I can't wait. So that's kind of why I'm not like really watching a ton of it. Just because I know myself. And then I was like, me and him can watch it together. when he comes back. And I can ask questions.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to ask. Like, how much are you keeping up? Like, are you watching every episode? You're not watching the live feeds, I'm assuming.
No, I'm not watching live feeds, and I'm really not watching any of the episodes other than like his mom will text me because my daughter, she thinks it's cool. Like I forget, like, you know, at one point I was like, oh, Avi, did you like want to watch it? And she was like, yeah, that's, you know, so cool. I was like, oh, that's right. You probably think this is awesome. So, with her, so we've been watching like his mom. I don't like them seeing like them talk bad about him or kind of those things. So she watches the episodes first and then she kind of tells me like, hey, you know, watch it. So we watch like all of the games and the comps. Yes. And we watch those and then we watch.
Which he's been good at.
Yes, he's been very
good. Great.
Yes, he will tell you when when the slips are sinking, that's when he does his best. So he will perform and do what he needs to do. So I think that's kind of what we watch. We just try to keep it. And the show itself, I think it's hard watching as an outsider when you know somebody on it because so much of it is like, oh my gosh, they're so backstabby. They're so manipulative and everybody's lying to each other. And I think you just kind of are like, man, humanity kind of sucks sometimes when you know somebody on the show. Like if you just watch the show, you're like, oh, this is great. This is fun to watch. But when you end up knowing somebody and you care about them, it's really hard to see them struggle or people talk bad about them. And I know his mom, struggles with that too. We called each other a couple times crying. She's like, they're so mean. I was like, it's going to be okay. He's fine.
Yeah, stay off Twitter.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I will say though, this is the thing about Keanu. I think he has like 9 lives, this guy. He was supposed to be out like week 1. It's week 5. He's thriving. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about spoilers. I don't know how much you guys know, but
I know. Yeah. I know all the
so
things right now.
he's on the block, but like he's fine. I in my opinion, I don't think he's gonna go home. Obviously, there's always a possibility, but yeah, and I think people have come around. Like I think they were hard on him early on, but I think people are really standing him now. Is that weird to see?
Well, I told Britnee the other day, I was saying, one of the reasons people got kind of hard on him early on is because like day 2 or 3, he was like, I'm coming after all of y'all. But
which I thought was hilarious, but
like Britney said, but that's truth. That is truth. In a Big Brother game, you are coming after everyone. Yeah. And so I think that it made him a very easy target. But I also think, I was thinking this earlier, he was on Will's side early on, but when they were asking, who do you think is betraying? And he said, I think it's Will. He was honest about that. Yeah. He wasn't trying to throw Will under the bus. He was genuinely thinking that is what happened. So it wasn't like he was betraying Will or the people that he was aligned to. He was genuinely saying that because he thought that was truth. And so one of the things that I've never met Keanu, by the way. I've just met his wonderful girlfriend, right? But one of the things I have liked about him and loved about him is that he has always stayed true to himself, and he's not saying false, he's not giving lies to try to get further in the game. And he's just really speaking truth and being himself. And I can appreciate that like so much. Because you're given so much bad information in the game. Yes. You are giving so much bad information. So you're going based off of like what you're being told or what your gut feeling is. And all of that can be wrong. All of it.
I think Keanu, if there's anything about Keanu, is that he is going to be the most honest person in a room, whether that hurts your feelings or not. He will never lie to you or sugarcoat it, really. It's kind of why he's a good trainer too. He's going to be really honest about where you're at, what you're doing. So I think him in this game, I just don't think he knows how to be anything but himself. So I do think a lot of what you see is what you get. But I think which will be interesting when he comes back to like hear what his side is, because he usually like in normal life gets along with everybody. He's also like me. We have like 8 personalities. Like we go to Screamo concerts and he's in improv and we play Dungeons and Dragons and like we like work out and like
your personal trainers. Like
like I coach cheerleading. Like, I mean, we have like such a wide range of like our personalities and like what we like to do for fun. So I think he usually can bond with pretty much anybody. So I think to see him initially struggle in the house to make connections with people, I think that really was tough on it. And it was tough, like I said, I mean, his mom too, because we know usually in normal life, people like really draw to him because he's pretty charismatic. So it'll be interesting to hear when he gets back, like how he was feeling in those initial first weeks, because I think he prided himself on being like, oh, I can get along with everybody, because in normal life, that's true,
But I think that actually makes sense, because maybe his directness and his honesty was sort of a shock to the system so early, because everyone goes in there kind of like, let's see what happens. And he was just very open about it. And so now that everyone sort of gets, oh, this is just Keanu, like he's just like, he's endeared himself to people. I think maybe that's sort of like the trajectory of what's happened. But yeah, speaking of, you mentioned all of those jobs. They led with the dungeons.
I know.
Why?
The whole time he was doing like his interviews and stuff too, they were really harping on like him being this nerdy guy. Like he wore Dungeons and Dragons shirts to all his things. Like they like loved this Dungeons and Dragons thing. I think because it's such like a, I guess, oxymoron maybe is the best word. Like,
yes.
This way. But we play these really nerd games. Like I even went to a Dungeons and Dragons thing like a couple weeks ago to play at this like bar with these people. And I walk in and people are like, I think you're in the wrong spot, lady. I was like, no, I'm playing at the advanced table. I brought my own character. Okay. I know what I'm doing. But it is, so I think they just thought that was a cool part to his story, and I think for him, like, yes, he loves being a personal trainer, but he really loves like the Dungeon Dragons for him when he's like DMing and stuff. He gets to do the fun voices. He gets to do kind of improv. He gets to be funny. He gets to do that stuff. And that's really what he like enjoys doing. So I think, the fitness industry, he loves it. And he's really good at that. But I think in real life, he would love to like have a YouTube channel of Dungeons and Dragons, like us all playing and him leading that. Like, I think that's a dream of his. So I think he thought it was cool that was kind of what they led with, his nerdy side, because that's a huge part of him too. Yeah.
Yeah. And they don't often have those.
Right.
It's so funny, Britnee. Sharon and I were talking earlier. So I went on the show, and part of the alliance that I got kind of put on, or kind of separated very quickly. We'll have to go watch my season one of these days.
Yes.
So we can
Can you guys podcast about it?
Yeah, for real. No, seriously, it's been 20 years since I was on, and it's so different than what it is now. And so sure. Keanu, whenever you and I were talking, he never even watched back that far. And I don't know that he needed to, because it's very different now, but it was really funny because I am super social. I'm like you, super social. I was a cheerleader. I was popular, all these things. And I ended up getting on an alliance, and I got out there. We called it the friendship because we really were all friends. But then people were calling us the nerd herd. And I'm like, I've never been called a nerd in my life. I'm like, not that there's wrong, like with nerds. Like, I wish I was a nerd sometimes. Like, I was not that smart to be considered a nerd. And so it's weird. Like, speaking of Keanu, like you said, going in and thinking one thing, I thought the same thing. I would go in and I'm like, oh, and I did get along with a lot of people, but I didn't know that I would be on the friendship nerd herd side.
Yes.
So you go in with perception, and then you kind of get aligned, and you kind of have to figure out the game. And then America, everybody kind of decides what they want you to be called. And then you have to but yeah, I remember Britnee. So I go to Joker's updates a lot. And in the beginning, I was looking, and shout out. I was looking, and I'm like, oh, he's kind of towards the bottom or the middle. And then he kept moving up. And I'm like, I only want to tell her great stuff. And so I'm like, oh my God, he's moving up. He's moving up. I'm like, he's number one ranked on the fans.
Yes.
I'm like, because America does not like when one person all the time is being targeted. Yeah. They don't like it. Yeah. I mean, it becomes like a bullyish situation. It's like when Howie on my season, Britnee, not that you remember it, when Howie was bullying me over and over and over, because I'm standing up for who we decided to put on the block, and nobody else had my back, but I'm a vocal person, and I'm going to stand for what I believe and what we decided to do. I would have loved to send the ratings in. I know there were people calling in CBS going, you need to stop that. It's not cool. It's okay. It's just a game. So I love that he is totally gone to the top, because I think what I have seen with him, never met him, but met her, is that he has stayed true to himself. Yes. And he is authentically flawed, like we all are. Yeah. 100%. Right? He's thinking someone said something. That's because he really believes that. Yeah. And America loves to see someone who is being genuine and just doing what they know they can do. And Britnee, I think the beautiful thing, I don't know if you watched that last comp or last week, whenever he was against Rachel Riley, which, love Rachel, met her, great person, think she's, just love her family. Mm-hmm. But he was so calmly taking his time doing it. I'm like, that's a beast right there. Yes. And I think she honors that as well. And I even had Howie, funny enough, he goes, oh my God, that guy, he friggin' checked RR, right? And I'm like, wait, are you behind? And he's like, yeah, I'm behind. I'm like, you're behind, because now we're on to the next week.
We're already there. Past.
Yeah. He was a beast and calm. It's hard to stay calm in those situations. Oh, yeah. And I think that's also what has impressed me about him, is his calmness knowing that people are going after him. And
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm impressed by it because
Like
I
I said,
get
he
shaken
does
in those
really good
situations.
under
That's
pressure,
awesome.
and he loves games. Like, that's partially, like, he's a very strategic, like, he loves to play chess. Like, he taught me how to
Mm.
play chess, and I lose every time. I can't beat him at anything, except there's a game I can always beat him at. It's called estimation, so I always do beat him at that. But he gets mad because he likes to win. But that's also him. He's just super competitive, and he's pretty strategic. So he does like the game part of it too, like the
That's awesome.
strategy and those kind of things. So I get why he wanted to do the show. And even the whole time, like, his whole thing has been like, I just want to be America's favorite player. He's like, I don't care if I win, I don't care if I get second, but he's like, I will walk out of here America's favorite player. That's always what he said.
It's
So
not
He is.
impossible.
not
Yeah,
impossible.
it's not. It's not. It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. So, and he's a very, like, we're very similar, but I'm like a pessimistic realist, I guess I would say. Like, I'm never the one that's like, my team's winning first place. I'm like, we're in third and then we win. It's like one of those things. I like to, like, set myself up to, like, not be
Yeah.
disappointed. He is not. He is an optimist to the T.
Aw.
So, like, him going on he had all these ideas. So I think that was also why it was kind of hard for me at the beginning, because I was like, oh man, he really went in there thinking this was how it was going to be for him, like, kind of right off the bat. And I think he's had to do some adjusting, but
He's
maybe
adapting.
realize things good. Yeah. So
Yeah,
maybe
he
he
is.
will,
Yeah.
learn something in there, and maybe it'll be good for him. But yeah, it's kind of stressful, like, every week being like,
Yeah.
okay, is he coming up? Oh, no, he's not coming up. Okay, is he doing this? Or yeah. So, but I've got all my stuff lined up now. So I'm like, oh, you can't come home now because I'm busy now for the next 2 months.
You're like, I've got everything taken care of.
Yeah, I was like, I have like
Stay
6
there.
concerts, 18 football games. I'm like, you guys, yeah, you're gonna stay there. I'm not ready for you to come home yet.
Hopefully he won't. You guys touch on so many things I wanna ask about. One, I guess people are probably screaming at me right now to ask, is he was recruited, right? Like, how did he get cast, and was there hesitation in him doing the show, or did you guys talk about that?
Yeah, they reached out to him originally, but he still had to do, like, everything
Of course.
you have to do to be on it. But they reached out to him first. He has, like, a lot of followers on Instagram for his kettlebell stuff already. So he did get reached. They did ask him, and I think at first it was kind of like he wasn't sure. He's kind of a lone wolf in the sense of, like, he is a homebody and he gets really tired of people really fast. Like,
I can relate.
yeah, like 2 hours with like 12 people. He's like, I need to be in home for bed for 2 days. So I was more nervous about him, like, being there with he's never lived with anybody ever. So, like, that was what he was most worried about. He's like, I don't even think I can, last in a house with that many people all the time. So I think that was, like, his kind of biggest fear. But he also, like, in his life, like, he trains online, he does a lot of stuff like that. Like, my life is pretty go go go, and he kind of does the same thing every day, which he likes. But I think he was kind of needing something new and exciting and something to challenge himself. Like, when you're a trainer, most of your life you're like, oh, I got to get this cert, or I got to lift this amount of weight, or, like, he played football, so, like, you're always striving for something. So then when in your life becomes kind of monotonous, I think when you're a competitive person, you're looking for something to do, right? Like, even me, I'm like, I'm gonna go run high rocks because I need something to do to challenge myself. So, like, I think that's just how he is. So I think when the opportunity came about, he was maybe a little hesitant, and I probably did not help the situation. I probably could have been a lot more supportive of it. But I came around eventually. But I do think it was good for him to go and get the exposure and to challenge himself and to do something different.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I love that. And I think it's fair to hesitate and to have concerns. This is a reality show, especially because you're living it, it's live, it's real time, it's totally different. And so, but I there's a couple of things I wanted to ask about. We brought up Rachel Riley. One of my favorite things about this season is the interesting dynamic between these two, because it's almost like an older sister, younger brother.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
when they're getting along, they're the best of friends. But when they're not, they're like, he's lying, she's like, it's so interesting. Like, and then today I'm seeing, like, Rachel's out there campaigning for for Catherine to use the veto on Keanu.
Yeah.
So I love to see that, because I think, and April, same thing. Like, Rachel, I love Rachel. I think she's a really good person. I think she's a competitor, probably similar to Keanu.
Yeah.
Like, she just wants to win.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think about the dynamic between them?
Are you asking me? Oh,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess like I said, I don't think I watch enough of the show to really piece together how he is with everybody. Like I like I said, I watch the comps and I watch like those kind of things, but I don't know if I know enough. And now his mom, she watches a lot more and she keeps me updated. But I think I feel like you said, like she kind of gets the vibe too. Like, okay, when they're good, and I think they will
Yeah.
rally for each other. But I think if one of them turns, they would be on opposite teams. Do you know what I'm saying? If they'll be like they're both kind of head honcho
Yes.
Yeah,
people.
for
Yeah,
sure.
so it's like when they can connect and they're both striving for the same thing, it's good. But I do think if they were on opposite sides, they'd each be the captain of the team. So
Mm,
Yeah.
that's the vibe I get.
Mhm.
that makes
Well,
sense.
and one of the things I would say is I think she's realizing because she's admitted she's not winning much. Wait,
Yes.
she hasn't won anything.
Anything. Yeah.
Let me go ahead and say that. So I think at this point, she is looking now to align herself to people because I know that I read recently through like Jokers that she's like, if I can't make it to the final two, I don't want to make it to jury. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I think now she is trying to align herself to people that can get her there. And
Sure.
he is someone that can get her there,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
physically.
Yeah.
And so I think that's honestly what she's doing. And at the end of the day, like game respects game. And
Yeah.
she has gamed.
For
She's not
sure.
gaming this time around, but she respects his game
And
because
I
he
think
has
it's
had to
funny.
win every week.
I think it's funny. I'm pretty sure her season is the only one he didn't watch, like going into this. Like he watched like all
Oh,
their
yeah.
contestants. Yeah. And
Oh, that's hilarious.
the girl that came in and won that veto for him, that was like one of his favorite
Casey. Yeah.
seasons. Yeah. So it was cool
Yeah.
that he
Yeah.
came on and
Oh,
did that. But yeah,
Casey.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure, yeah, that was like the one season he like did not watch of like kind of the recent ones. So it's kind of I think it's interesting because he didn't know like he
Yeah.
doesn't
He
know
wouldn't
anything
know.
about her, right? You
Yeah.
know, until he got
Yeah.
there, which is also kind of cool. It probably made it more fun or
Yeah.
intriguing.
Yeah.
So
There was a funny segment where he did watch her highlight reel on YouTube. And
yes,
so he was just, this is the thing whenever, and I don't know him, right? Like I'm talking like almost like he's a character. You obviously know him very well.
We're all
But the way,
characters on that show.
right?
Like
But
FYI, like besides the people who know us, we
yeah,
are
you are
characters to
characters.
America.
Yeah,
Literally
yeah.
America. We're characters. It's so sad and scary and all the above.
actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's true. He's so like direct and endearing. So he's telling Rachel like, "Oh, I remember this from the video. I remember this." Very like, not a negative thing.
Yeah.
Well, Rachel didn't love that. Like some of it wasn't
Yeah.
like her best moments. And then same thing this
Told
week.
ya.
Like
Honest.
he had like a very, in the Brittany, I don't know if you watched because it was part of the comp when Ava like at the end when he won,
yes.
no one's
And no one's
clapping for
clapping.
him.
Yes, that was
And
sad.
he
Yeah,
was
that was bullcrap.
It was bad. Yeah,
That was
I
not
just
cool.
was like,
I agree.
again, we don't see everything, but to me, it just seemed like a little bit of an overreaction on her part
Sure.
because he was just like, okay, well then what's the next thing? I think you have a prompt.
Yes.
Like again, he doesn't mean anything, and
Yeah.
then
No.
she obviously was upset. But like you said, immediately after apologized and was like, I want to make this right, even though did he do something wrong? Probably not. But yeah, it's making sense how you're describing him and then sort of what we're seeing.
Yeah, like I said, I don't
Yeah.
think Keanu knows how to be anybody but himself. Even with me, sometimes I'm like, okay, little harsh. Okay, I need you to be a little softer with me. But he just does. That's just not how he is. He's just it's
Yeah.
straight up. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're probably gonna be like, I think now he's snoring all the time, and they had
that's
to give him,
right.
like nose strips. Like poor guy. And then he's like, I was like, you're gonna have a farting montage. I was like, he's just like
So-
that's just what he's gonna be for like ever. Like that's it. That's him.
But you know what? That is so funny because that's what makes him him.
Yes.
And so I will never forget when I after the show was over, we had like a little party with all the producers and stuff after. I don't even know they do that anymore. But
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do. So, and I don't know that they still do this, but each one of us had a producer. And the
Yes.
guy who had me came up to me and said, "Oh my God, you gave me so much good stuff." And I'm like,
Don't say that.
I don't even want to go back and watch this. Like, this is going to be so bad. And he goes, "No, it was awesome." And I'm like, awesome cannot be good.
Yeah, it cannot
So,
be good. It means
I
it
had
was
everything. I had everything.
embarrassing,
Like,
yes.
it was great. And I think you have to be real in the realistic part of you don't see everything.
Yeah.
You don't. I
Yeah.
mean, most of America is watching on CBS. They're not
Right.
looking
Yeah,
at the
leaving the live
24/7
feeds. Yeah.
feed.
Yeah.
They're not. And even if you are watching the 24/7 feed, nobody can put themselves in the shoes emotionally, physically,
Oh,
mentally that we're
for
in.
sure. For sure.
You just can't, because it's easy to judge. And I get it. It's very easy. I mean, I judge. I'm like, oh, I don't like that person.
We
I don't
all
like
do,
that
yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Right. But at the end of the day, it's not fair to judge, because no, unless you're in those shoes and you have had to go through what anybody has had to live through in that house, good, bad, ugly, it's hard, and it's not fair to judge, but it's just part of the way this world works. And I am so happy he has like risen to the top,
Yes.
because early on, like, knowing, I know you,
Yeah.
and how much, we've like prayed for you just going through this, because it is hard. It's hard to watch someone you love, like, be, ostracized and, bullied and
Misunderstood.
misunderstood, but yet celebrated. And it's all the emotions. Like,
Yeah.
so it's very hard to be on the other side of that. I really want to hopefully open America up to like thinking is, yeah, have your voice and have your favorites, but also don't just down someone based off of what you hear or what you see on the 24/7, or even, on just,
edited show.
CBS.
Yeah.
Because we're all real people. That's
Yeah.
that's the ultimate, thing I want to make
I'm
sure that
assuming in the
people
house
know.
too, like the only issues you are dealing with in that house are the issues in the house. It's not like real world where
Correct.
you're thinking about like, oh, I have my
Yes.
kids I'm doing here,
Yes.
and then I got to be here.
Yes.
It's not that. Like everything is heightened, I'm sure, because those are the only
Mhm.
issues in your life at that
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah,
things that might not
exactly.
seem big to, I think, the viewers are big in the house because
Mhm.
that's your only thing you're dealing with,
Yeah.
Yeah.
100.
Covering this show for so many years and interviewing so many people, even myself, how I interview has changed, because I just think we need to give more grace to these people.
Yeah.
Because if you put a camera in my face for 3 months and I'm stuck in a house and people aren't doing their dishes and stuff, I would lose my mind.
100%.
And so I just always tell people, like, we can have our favorites, we can joke and all that stuff, but these are real people. And especially when it comes to like their families and stuff, like, let's remember that they have people outside who are seeing all of this. And the show is amazing, but there obviously is the part that isn't always amazing, which
and I think too, like for people, it feels kind of like, I guess, being on the outside, it feels kind of, I mean, thank goodness I have like a great group of people, and knowing April and just her, shedding some like truth just on like, hey, it's going to be okay. I've been in this situation, because it is kind of a lonely thing being on the other side. Like you could talk about it right with their family members and whatever, but like nobody's really like, you don't know the other people living it at the same time. Like I can't go be like, oh, what girl, whose girlfriend is over here, let's talk about how we're feeling about it. Because it is like, I feel like every week, because it airs 3 times a week and you kind of know by Saturday, what's happening. Your life is like this, like I'll be coaching cheerleading and I'm like, okay, great, yes. And then I get a text and it's like, this happened to Keanu. And then, your mood kind of drops. You just feel like you're always in this teeter-totter of emotions and you can't do anything about it, and I think for me being
and you're still living your life.
Yes, like I still have to have drop off, pick up. My kids are crying, and I'm like, guys, I just found out this is, it's just you have so many emotions already around it. Yes, it's weird, and it is normal. Kind of lonely. Yeah, so I think it's I think it's cool that you're having somebody that's hasn't been on the show and just has somebody on it, because I do think it's important for people to hear like, it's okay to feel like kind of alone, and like it's a lot of information and it's different every day and it's ups and downs. And I think the best thing I've learned to do is like, my peace in my life right now is really important. Like I can't control anything that happens on the show, and that's what I have to remember. All I can do is pray, be excited when he's winning, be sad for him, like feel for him if he's looking down. But the best thing I can do is wait till he's home and just give whatever support he will need at that point. It might be celebration. It might be just a hug. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's an important piece of it too.
Britnee, you got it down. Like, honestly,
girl, you are a badass. Like, let's just say that. Like, you are, yes, you are beautiful inside and out. And Seriously, you are.
Oh,
I also have a therapist, so that is helping too.
Hey,
Very-
therapists are really, really good. Yeah. I've
Yeah.
got a mental health coach too. So we're good here.
Yes,
We're
everybody
good
needs
here.
a therapist. I'm saying that out
Agree.
loud for everybody.
Yes.
Agree. Keanu, again, good sport. He's in a costume this week.
Oh, I
Britney.
know.
Did you see this?
Oh, yes, I have the videos. His mom shared a whole iCloud album of his. He was like, he didn't need a bigger booty than he does already. You know, he's wearing a
Good
butler
luck.
suit that has this huge butt on it, like a tray. I thought it was for like one night. His mom's like, I think it's for a week.
It's a
Britney.
week.
I was like,
It's a week.
oh my gosh, he has to like make pigs in a blanket. Like at
He's
any
cooking
time
for
of the day.
people.
And Keanu does not cook unless it's steak and sweet potatoes. So right now I'm cracking up because she sent me the video. I was like, this boy don't know what he's doing at all, but he'll figure it out. He'll be okay.
Oh.
He's taken it in stride, and honestly, I love a good costume. I think they're fun.
Yes, that was his favorite part about the show. He's like, I love when people get the like the punishments. So it's actually hilarious that this was his punishment, like being a butler to people. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna die. He's gonna hate
Oh
this.
my god. Question for both of you. April, would you ever play Big Brother again? And Brittany, would you ever do reality TV or Big Brother?
The only thing I have ever considered doing is American Ninja Warrior. So I am gonna sign up next season.
I got a hookup for you. I got someone that I know on it. So yeah, that was on it. Yeah.
Okay. One of my cheerleaders was on it too. So I thought about doing it. I was gonna do it this year, but it was just too much with all the stuff going.
Yeah.
So I am gonna try out, but I don't have I'm not that type of person, and I don't think I could leave my kids that long. So
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
April, what about you?
And I'll say, so I would totally do reindeer games because of the length of it, because it's hard to be gone for 3 months when you literally have, everyone has lives. So I don't want to take away from that, but you've got like important milestones going on. Like no milestone in my personal life is worth being gone from it. Yes. And so I would totally do reindeer games. They only did one season, is that right?
Yeah,
and everyone loved it. So
and it was good.
I actually watched that. I watched that one.
Oh, you did? Okay, because it's short and it's easy.
I was intrigued. I loved it. Yes. I was like, oh, this is cute.
So I would totally do reindeer games. I really think I would do Traders.
Yes.
I did.
Again,
that is
they're not
cool
going to pull back from us. They're not going to pull back from like season 6, and we're too far back, and I've not stayed in the limelight enough. And then honestly, if they were ever to ask me to be on Big Brother again, depending on when it is in my life, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to do it now. I wouldn't do it when Maverick is going into his senior or his freshman year at college. Like, it would have to be like really good timing. But Maverick did mention, Mom, when I turn 21, why can't we go on together? Because Sari and her son, remember that season, not husband, son, were there together at the same time. And I'm like, that would be cool. Like if I were to go in with my son, I would do it all day, every day.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. So, and I do think with Janelle's kid, all of our kids are kind of similar ages. Well, mine's a little bit older than Janelle, but
they should do a legacy
some of us,
Big Brother.
Yeah, they should do like a legacy Big Brother and bring like former Big Brother people with their kids in and like do that and see what happens. So,
oh my gosh, if Keanu and my daughter are the same person and they're both brutal. Oh, yes. This girl, oh my gosh, I'll like come out. My son's like, Mom, you look so cute. My daughter's like, what are you wearing? I was like, I thought I looked cute.
Leave it for your daughters to humble you.
Oh, nothing like it. So I was like, oh man, they'd be the perfect pairing just to be like annihilating everybody. Just be.
I love that.
But yeah, April, actually, Traders, the casting director or someone high up there was on Big Brother. So that's why they pulled.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So,
yeah, it's like a cool show. That is a cool show.
I think Ian's going on right this next season, and I love him, but it's like, okay, they're pulling back. Like they need to pull back even further.
I think they will.
Well, and my thing is they need to give people, even on Big Brother, I will say this for Big Brother. I love Rachel. I know she's won. I know she was on 1 or 2 other seasons, but they need to pull from people who have not won seasons, but who did make it, 3 or 4. I mean, we made it there for a reason.
That would be
give us an opportunity to actually win the game or win reindeer games. because we didn't make it,
Great. Love it.
by, happenstance. I mean, we did play a game.
Yeah.
And so they need
you-
to honor that and stuff as well.
Wait, this is what I'm manifesting. April and Keanu are going to play reindeer games this same season.
Yes, I would be totally for
Dude,
that.
I will have his back all day,
I love
every day.
that.
And he will carry me on his
He will.
back.
I'll
the
make,
season.
listen, you're going to take care of April, okay? If you let her down, I will kill you.
Well, the good thing now, back then, I didn't need to work out. I was skinny. I was all this thing. And now I do Pilates. Obviously, I
Yes,
worked out with
girl.
Brittany. Brittany,
Yep.
I will be working out with you more.
I know,
She
Fridays.
got me so friggin' sore. And then I had to go to New York City and walk for like 4 days. It was awesome. But I mean, I work out now. So I'm here to win things.
Yeah.
And
I would
hopefully I
love
don't
to
have
see
to
it.
win a lot and I can kind of coast myself again. But if I have to, I can. So
I love that.
but yeah,
I would
that
love
would
to-
be really
I
cool.
would love to see you on a show, April.
Oh,
I
you're
would
so
love that.
sweet. You're
I'd
so
watch every
sweet.
episode of that.
Well,
I
and
would
we
be
will
a
get you
biggest
on
fan.
American Ninja Warriors.
Okay.
You are badass and you deserve to be on that show for sure.
It would be super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate you both doing this. Brittany, you
Yes, thank
definitely did
you.
not have to do this, but April, neither did you. And just it was so nice. This has been great.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
thank you
good
guys
just
so
to
much
talk
for
through
having me.
things. Yeah,
It
get
is.
different perspectives. Like you have my perspective, you have her perspective, and I mean, I'm looking around and we're all blondes. Like, how awesome is it that we're just
Blondes having
blonde
much fun.
girls that are like amazing? So
Love it. Well, if you ever want to vent or come on and talk about Keanu again, same thing with you, April, let me know.
Yeah.
We're hoping he's good this week.
Yes.
Power
yes,
through.
come on, Keanu, you make it to the end.
Come on.
Win that money.
I know.
That
Yeah.
money would be
I
life
know.
changing
Oh, for sure.
anybody.
For sure.
I don't care how much money you got. That is like
Yes.
super life changing.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I can see Rachel trying to bring him
Up.
to the end
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
I really
felt
do,
that
because she
too.
wants a final two. And the reality is he can get her to final two.
Sure.
If she solidifies that,
Yeah.
she won't win probably
Yeah.
the
People won't vote her to-
750,
Yeah.
but she'll make more than she did walking in. So
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
yeah.
One more question, because you guys just reminded me. We think it's the wall comp this week. So Brittany, it's basically where they have to like stand against a flat wall with their arms like on a, what do we call it, April? Like a
It's like a rock climbing wall
Okay.
kind of thing.
almost, but you're like flat against it, and your arm
Yeah.
and your hands are just like in holds, and then they like lean you forward, and then they spray you with stuff. Like what? How do we
Okay.
think Keanu? Because usually it does not
'Cause he's
favor big
big.
guys.
Yeah, big guys.
Yeah, we've talked about this. He's like, if
Okay.
I have to do anything where I am hanging on
Mm.
parallel, I'm screwed. If I'm hanging on straight up and down, I'm probably
Mhm.
okay, because he is a big guy, but he's also super strong. So
Mhm.
it could go
Never
either
know.
way on that one. He does, but like I said, he's also a competitor. So like I think if he's feeling like, oh, I could win this, or like I'm getting close, I think he'll do whatever to make it happen. But yeah, it could go either way.
Well, and that game, not only is it physical, I mean, I think what I've seen more in him is the mental,
Yeah, he can put it
physicality.
aside. Yeah.
because
yeah.
if you have
sure.
both, you're like, dude, you're like solid. I
Yeah.
mean, that's that him winning that against Rachel the other night and all those other people, that was a mental thing. That was not a
100%.
physical thing.
Yeah.
And so I feel that he's got
That's true.
both, which is
Mhm.
really important. If he can like fight through that comp, because it's going to be hard. And it like Sharon said, it's not usually for like the big
Yeah.
people. It's harder. But, I think if he feels safe, he probably doesn't have to worry about it.
He probably doesn't have to
but
win it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think people are starting to pick off like the Mickey. They're going towards other people
The
at this point.
Vinces, yeah.
But he did win
so
that
we'll see.
the laser challenge, which is also not usually for big guys, but he's
So-
pretty mobile. So
I'm
I
not
was
gonna
like,
lie. I was even sitting there thinking, because there were times on my season I was like, is Big Brother helping people cheat? And not that they
No.
are, I don't
yes,
think.
yes.
But looking at him, and as big as he
I
is,
know.
trying to get up underneath and all of that. I mean, the good thing is he's agile.
Yeah.
He's, all
Flexy,
those kind of
yeah.
things. But I'm like, how did he just do that? Did
I
they
know.
let that happen? I'm like,
I know, I
that's
was like,
crazy. But
but
no, he won it.
My
He won
kids
it
were like,
fair
he's
and
a
square.
ninja. I was
Aw.
like, pretty much.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm excited to see how it plays out, and just thank you guys again for doing this. It
Yes,
was really
thank
fun.
you.
Yes,
I appreciate
thank
you guys.